The point is, at 100 milligrams a week, you're not going to get any of the anabolic effects. You're not going to get any of the side effects either. But the question is, will you get the joint relief effects from it? Hey guys, Mike from the Two Gaming Dudes here with a little self-experimentation. Joint pain, THC Lotion for joint pain, and then NPP, Nandrolone, for joint pain. Before we begin, I am legally obligated to tell you that as I am not your physician, I am not giving medical advice. I am neither condoning nor discouraging the use of any compounds for any reason. I am simply giving you my own personal anecdotes for your own entertainment and education. So, go to hell, lawyers in Cupertino. Here we go. Okay, THC Lotion. I sprang for some of this stuff because a guy I work with gave it his endorsement. We should make clear the difference between CBD oil and THC oil, both coming from the same plant, the cannabis plant. CBD is the oil that has the anti-inflammatory stuff, but none of the psychoactive stuff. THC is the opposite. It's got the anti-inflammatories and the psychoactive, but in the form of a lotion, you're just rubbing it into where it hurts. In my case, my elbow, and my AC joint, and my rotator cuff, and my low spine and my right knee. Okay, here we go. I got this stuff, and because it's THC oil in a lotion, from what I can tell, it's just icy hot with some indeterminate amount of THC lotion, THC oil added to it. It doesn't give a dosage or a strength, so I have no idea what's actually in this stuff. And because it's THC, you have to look. This may not be legal in your area, in your country, or if you're in the US, in your state, or maybe even your locality, it may not be legal to get this stuff. And if it's not, don't worry about it. Don't be disappointed if you can't get this. Because it did two things. Jack and shit. And Jack just left town. So if you can't get your hands on this, don't worry about it. $24 down the toilet. Let's move on to the Nandrolone, NPP. You know, if you've been in this for a while, you know Nandrolone is the stuff that Arnold and Lou Ferrigno and all those monsters back in the olden days used to get gigantic. And it's still used in bodybuilding today. Just big, giant gains. But those guys were doing it at like 700 milligrams a week. These huge, huge quantities that give you the side effects, but that give you these crazy anabolic effects too. And they started noticing that their joints felt better. And then it was supposed that perhaps it's got some anti-inflammatory action, or is it just doing something to collagen and peptides, and it's doing something weird to the ligaments themselves? It's more likely that. I'm not going to get into the science because nobody gives a shit. There are two esters of nandrolone that are popular and available out there. NPP, nandrolone phenylpropionate, and Deca. Deca is the long-acting ester, NPP is the short-acting. Again, based on your area, this may not be legal. You may need to go to a regenerative medicine doc to get a prescription, or a TRT clinic to get a prescription. The point is, at 100 milligrams a week, you're not going to get any of the anabolic effects. You're not going to get any of the side effects either. But the question is, will you get the joint relief effects from it? I wish this was more of a controlled study. All I can tell you is, for me, the shit freaking worked. I can't explain it. Around day 20, I started noticing I was on the bench, and for months, heavy bench, I'm doing my heavy Wendler 531 days, my AC joint would just scream at me. Scream! And it just, out of the blue, in the middle of a set, I realized, whoa, that doesn't hurt anymore. When did that stop hurting? I don't know when. I didn't notice it. It happened so gradually that I didn't notice that my AC joint didn't hurt anymore. Just some point in those 20 days. Same thing with my right rotator cuff. Granted, I'd been doing a lot of PT to rehab that because I didn't want surgery on it. That feels better. My right knee, that's degenerative bone on bone. That needs a replacement. It's not going to do shit for that. Same thing with my low spine. That's a degenerative disc. There's no pharmacology that's going to help that. My elbow, the one that hurts me the most, it still hurts, but I didn't rehab it. I think had I taken 4 weeks off, done this 100 milligrams of NPP, I think it would have helped. I think it might have cured it. Even doing what I did, it still helped. I got mad at it, so I'm still doing century sets of bicep curls every day. It's my pull day because I'm stupid like that. Putting on mass doesn't come easy for me, and I don't want to give up what I've built already. Granted, it's not very much, but it's a lot to me. So I'm still doing my workouts, but I can get through them now. Before, I would get through 1 or 2 reps and I'd have to stop, and that would be the end of my biceps day. Now I can get through, I go a lot lighter, but I can knock out century sets at lightweight of the easy curl bar. It would be interesting to see what would happen if I did it for real. Just took 4 weeks off, did the pharmacological intervention and see if it made a big difference. I don't know that it would. And again, I don't know that any of this is associated with the NPP. It could just be that that was the time that my AC joint decided to stop flaring up. It could be that the rehab I was doing for my rotator cuff was finally catching up. I don't know. But I do know that in that 4 weeks of doing the stuff, I feel better. You're not going to get any bigger on 100 milligrams a week. You're not going to break any PRs. But that's not why I was doing it. So if you have a TRT guy near you that can prescribe this stuff for you, it's maybe worth looking into. At least talk to your doc about it. I know that a lot of TRT doctors are now starting to include this microdosing of Nandrolone along with the weekly testosterone or the biweekly testosterone or whatever TRT you're doing. That's my take on it. There's clearly something to it. I wish I had more for you. I wish I had done an actual controlled study, but it's just me. I have neither the time nor the inclination to do that kind of stuff. So click subscribe, leave a comment, share. If you've got some experience on this, I'd love to get a discussion going, even though it would be anecdotal. I'd love to hear what other guys thought of this, or even that bullshit THC lotion. Frankly, I'm of the opinion that if it's legal where you are and you can get THC, just fucking burn a fat one, or take a tincture. Tincture is the oil, but it's in it's in an alcohol base, and you squirt it under your tongue. It's sublingual, and it gets into your system that way. That I can tell you, well, I better not say, I don't want to get in trouble, but I've heard it said that ingesting it systemically does a lot better for the inflammation. That's what I've heard. Take from that what you will. Like, click, subscribe, do all that shit. Check out some of the other vids and start a discussion going. All right. Thanks. Mike's out. Oh, God.